Hi, I'm Peter James. I'm delighted to answer some of your questions through hashtag Ethan Asks. First question, do you prefer to write a series or standalone novels? I actually love writing both. I love writing my Roy Gray series and developing all the characters, but I love writing standalones, such as Absolute Proof, where I can explore a big theme that wouldn't work in a crime novel so much. In Absolute Proof, I explore the theme of whether God exists or not. And I have a new standalone this autumn, I Follow You, which is a really dark psychological thriller that, again, I felt would work better not in a police setting. You have written many memorable characters. Do you have a favourite? Absolutely, Roy Grace. I just love Roy Grace. I love the fact that I get emails sometimes from readers saying, you know, he's the only fictional detective I've ever actually wanted to sleep with. I take that as a great compliment. And I have another character in my Roy Grace books, Tooth, who appears in several. Truly horrible hitman. Love him. How does writing for film differ from writing books? The average script for a movie is 20,000 words. The average length of a Roy Grace novel is 110,000. It's a very different technique. And the great thing about writing books is that you can get inside your characters' heads. And I think you can write a much scarier book than even the scariest movie. I'm really looking forward to reading more about Roy Grace and Find Them Dead. Can you tell us a bit about this book? At its heart, Find Them Dead tells the story of a widowed mother who has a teenage daughter she dotes on and adores. She's her life. Her daughter's on a gap year travelling in South America with her best friend. The mother gets called on to jury service and finds herself on the trial of a major county lines drug dealer. She gets home on the third day of the trial, and there's a photograph of her daughter on the kitchen table, and the photographs of her daughter in Ecuador. And she's thinking, how did that get there? And a moment later the phone rings, and a stranger says to her, "We know where your daughter will be every moment of every day if you ever want to see her alive again." At the end of the trial, the jury has to say 2 words, and you know what they are. Did you always want to write crime fiction? I did. I read Brighton Rock when I was 14 years old, and I put that book down, and I promised myself one day I'll try and write a book 10% as good as that set in Brighton. Any tips for an aspiring writer? Read, read, and read. The best people you can learn from are the really successful authors of the kind of book that you want to write. I used to read all the crime thriller writers that I adored the most and the biggest bestsellers when I was trying to hone my craft. Do the same. What is your favourite book? One you wish you had written? I have 2 that I wish I'd written. The first is Graham Greene's Brighton Rock, and the second is Thomas Harris's Silence of the Lambs. I think that's such a perfect book, so dark, so beautifully written. Thank you to everyone who submitted a question to hashtag Ethan Asks. Find Them Dead is available to order online from eason.com.